France has vowed to scale up its military campaign to destroy ISIS following last week's deadly attacks in Paris. The French president has called for a UN Security Council meeting and says he'll soon be sitting down with the US and Russian counterparts to discuss the counter-terrorism measures.
UK Prime Minister David Cameron has announced that Britain will increase its military budget to counter Islamic State. He also said the country could join an international airstrike campaign in Syria.
Here we have China. They are now launching war, declaring war on ISIS. Now this comes after the recent publication of the ISIS magazine Dabiq declared that they had executed a Chinese prisoner. And you know, with all these superpowers gathering over there, allegedly to bomb ISIS in Syria, one has to wonder, when do we start calling this a world war?
Президент Обама упомянул об одной из угроз – это ИГИЛ. Ну а кто помогал вооружать людей, которые в Сирии боролись с Асадом-то? Кто создавал благоприятный политический информационный климат? Кто подталкивал к поставкам оружия? А вы чего, разве вы не понимаете, кто там воюет? Там воюют наемники. В основном. Вы знаете, что там платят деньги? И они воюют там, где платят больше. Вот они вооружились, им платят определенную сумму. Мне даже называли эти суммы, которые им платят. Они там воюют уже с оружием, все, у них уже не отнимешь. Потом выяснилось, что в другом месте чуть-чуть начали побольше платить. Они там туда перетекут. Вот они захватили месторождения нефтяные, там, скажем, где-то в Ираке или в Сирии. Нефть начали добывать. У них эту нефть покупают, транспортируют, продают. Почему санкции не накладывают на всех, кто это делает? А что, разве Соединенные Штаты не знают, кто это делает? Это разве не их союзники этим занимаются? У них что, нет силы, возможности повлиять на своих союзников? Или они не хотят влиять? Зачем они бомбят ИГИЛ? Вот там начали нефть добывать и больше платить. И там часть сразу этих боевиков перетекла из так называемой цивилизованной оппозиции. Сразу же перетекла в ИГИЛ, потому что там больше платят. Я считаю, что это абсолютно невыверенная, непрофессиональная политика, без опоры на реалии. Хорошо, в Ираке там воюют плохо, в Ливии там все довели до того, что вашего посла убили в Ливии. Мы что ли это сделали? Приняли решение в свое время Совета Безопасности. О чем? Значит, бесполетную зону сделать. Для чего? Для того, чтобы не могли летать самолеты Каддафи и бомбить боевиков. Тоже считаю не самое лучшее решение. Ну ладно. А что на самом деле сделали? Начали сами наносить удары, в том числе и по территории. Явное, грубое нарушение резолюции Совета Безопасности ООН. Практически агрессия без всякой резолюции. Это мы что ли сделали? Это же вы сделали своими руками. А закончилось чем? Убийством вашего посла. Кто виноват? Сами виноваты. Вот это хорошо для США, что посла убили. Ужасно. Страшная катастрофа. Но не нужно искать виноватых, если сами допускаете ошибки.
This next story really just blew my mind when I read the headline. Putin to the Turkish ambassador. He said, "Tell your dictator president that he can go to hell." Now, this story comes to us from conservativepost.com. And like I said, it shocked me when I read it. The story continues. Putin has personally sent a message to the Turkish ambassador to Moscow, Mr. Umit Yardim, and warned him that Russia will stop any relationships unless the Turkish president Recep Tayyip Erdogan stops supporting ISIS terrorists in Syria. That's one hell of a bold claim. Vladimir Putin is essentially stating that Turkey is supporting ISIS.
Well, one of the key questions regarding the expansion of the ISIL Takfiri militants in Syria and Iraq has been their finances. Fresh reports have now revealed that certain European countries have been buying oil from the terrorist group. In a briefing to the European Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, the EU ambassador to Iraq, Yana Habaskova, said that some European countries have purchased crude from ISIL. She didn't mention any specific country, but reports suggest that Turkey has been buying and transporting oil from both ISIL and the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Nusra Front in Syria. ISIL reportedly controls 11 oil fields in northern Iraq, as well as Syria's Raqqa province. U.S. intelligence officials estimate that Takfiri militants earn more than $3 million a day from oil profits, theft, human trafficking, and ransom. They say the militants sell oil and other products via established networks in Turkey, Jordan, and Iraq's Kurdistan region.
There may have been a slightly awkward moment at the G20 summit in Antalya, Turkey, leaving some of the delegates looking at their shoes after President Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, shared intelligence with his fellow member state delegates, revealing 40 countries from which ISIS finances the majority of their terrorist activities. This list reportedly includes a number of those self-same G20 countries. Mark, this is what he had to say. He said, "I provided examples based on our data on the financing of different Islamic State units by private individuals. This money, as we have established, comes from 40 countries, and there are some of the G20 members among them."
I wanted to bring your attention to a very important, underreported story that the White House is being extremely silent on. It's the story about an American journalist who was disappeared and murdered in Turkey on October 19th, 2014. Her name was Serena Shim. She was an American journalist working for Press TV inside of Turkey, and she uncovered how United Nations World Food Program trucks were being used by ISIS to send in and import weapons and other supplies to the Syrian rebels. The story had huge repercussions for the U.S. ally Turkey. Right after her reporting, Serena talked about death threats and threats from Turkish intelligence she got right after her report. Turkish intelligence, days before she died, accused her of being a spy, questioned her contacts and friends, and said that she would be arrested on sight when they found her. On October 19, 2014, Serena was driving on a one-way, three-lane highway with a medium. A cement truck hit her car head-on. The Turkish government says that this was an accident and has not provided any evidence or photos of the actual incident, and they have actually been changing their stories of what actually happened to Serena. After the accident, it was reported that Serena and another driver were alive. The other driver was taken to a hospital while Serena was taken to an undisclosed location where 30 minutes later she was found in a hospital dead from heart failure. The family went to Turkey to get answers from the Turkish government, and they have not gotten any assistance or help from that government. The United States government, when questioned about Serena Shim, said that they do not investigate deaths of Americans in other countries, even though they have done so in the past. The Turkish government, for some reason, posted her passport online after her death. The family does not believe her death was an accident in any way, shape, or form. The mainstream media inside the United States has been completely silent. The White House has been completely silent. The government is giving no answers and will not investigate the death of this American brave journalist who is investigating and exposing the very fact that our ally is helping, aiding, and supporting ISIS.